Welcome, one and all. This is the Peace Dealer, and this is episode 3 of Peace Talk, where I interview and profile gifted spiritualists that are raising awareness in the YouTube community and just in the community in general. And, they aren't afraid to share these new age ideas and beliefs. Um, thankfully, this week I am blessed to have Will Harrison with us today, who is a very gifted metaphysician, and I had come across him on YouTube and really resonated with a lot of his videos. So, Will, how you doing?
Good, man. Thanks for having me. I'm blessed to be here.
That's what's up. Will is actually, like myself, also a Gemini, so this is a pretty awesome episode.
There's gonna be so much talking. Oh my God.
Yeah, when there's, two Geminis is too many Geminis. I'll say that for sure.
For many Gemini.
For many Geminis. Yes, and what's even crazier is not only are we both Geminis, but I have a 23-degree Capricorn moon, and he has a 23-degree Cancer moon. So you're literally witnessing like true twin action in the moment right now. Right now.
True.
So Will, what got you into astrology? How did you enter this world of metaphysics and spirituality in general? What was your awakening process like?
Man, it's been a hell of a road. It really has. I I mean, I think I've always, and you know what it's like being a Gemini and an air sign, I guess in general. I've always felt like psychologically predisposed to like observing and understanding behaviors, others, myself especially. And I was always kind of like, oh, astrology's interesting. Okay, little sun sign stuff. Like I would know my best friend's sun signs, but I'd never seen a natal chart until I think September 2011. So really, I'm just it's beginning. I really I've studied it every day since then because it's just so damn fascinating. Really, I mean, it's the keys to so much understanding I find. And ever since I saw my natal chart, I just started studying and learning as much as possible. And from there, I started embracing all these different, metaphysical ideas like reincarnation and just all these different Aquarian pursuits and understandings. And it's funny because I remember even like 5, 6 years ago, I was so lower level air sign, you know what I mean? Of like, well, I don't believe in. My mom would talk to me about past lives and all this stuff, and I'm like, I don't believe it unless I see it. All this. I was so smug and juvenile at that point. But yeah. So it's taken me a couple of years to even get into it in the first place. But yeah, man, basically these last 3 years I've just been studying it voraciously. I mean, to the point where I got it tattooed on my hands and everything. And again, I'm a very logical, you know what it's like being Gemini, very logical, very rational, and it's been a hell of a ride because it's all made sense.
Could you do us a favor and show us your Triforce tattoo? That is like
Fuck yes, I
the
can.
most awesome thing I've ever seen. Like,
Thanks, man.
a
I
Legend
tried.
of Zelda fan is always awesome in my book.
Dude, did you play the new Zelda game? Oh my God, not to digress, I know this is very Gemini, but did you play the new one for 3DS?
No, my friend
Oh, it's
told
so
me
good.
about it. I heard it's like very, very, very good. Like it combines all the past Legend of Zeldas, or like speaks on them, or something like that.
It's amazing, dude. It really is. I mean, I've played pretty much all of them, and it's just incredible. So,
Word. Well, you just inspired me to, because I really wasn't thinking of getting it, but hearing more good feedback about it, is cool.
trust me.
Hashtag Nintendo. So what you said earlier really, really struck out to me because, and that's why I'm so grateful to be able to do a series like this and delve into this community, because one thing that you will notice so far in all 3 episodes is all of us have really been through this core awakening 2011 2012. So it's not really just some theory or people saying it. Like we really are, you're seeing with your own eyes real life stories about people awakening to this energy around that time. So I'm very excited to see how, at its core and prime right now, with this cardinal cross, how we just burst forth with new doors. So, as a Gemini,
Yeah.
Will, how do you contribute to the astrological community? How is someone watching your videos going to be impacted as you give this air sign slant to your readings and videos?
I try. Wait, sorry, quick digression, quick digression. I gotta say that's fascinating about 2011 and 2012, and I totally agree. And I gotta explore that more. That's so interesting. I didn't know that actually.
Yeah,
But
I didn't take it seriously at all until I'm hearing you guys say it all like 2011, 2011, 2012. It's like, oh snap.
yeah, man. And there, I felt it too during then. I mean, I didn't know what was going on. I really had no idea what was going on. But I'm like, something here is happening. I don't know what it is, but and I feel it too, man. Like the Cardinal Grand Cross, holy shit. And I just saw yesterday, dude, 13 degrees all around. It's just like oof, it's fascinating the energies at our disposal right now. But I totally feel it, and I do think that we're meant for, I mean, a huge boost, a huge burst in the YouTube astrological community's videos. I mean, it's really not uh, strange to me at all to think that this video, for example, will get millions of views one day, very soon too. I mean, the world needs astrology, and the world's using YouTube. I mean, people are tuning in from all over the world. It's fascinating, man.
It
So what
is
was your
so
original question?
fascinating. I love you, man. Like you're mirroring me right now. Like this whole
Oh, me too,
digression
dude.
thing is. I thought I was the only one that does this at times, but
No way, man. You know what it's like. As Gemini's, Mercury and Gemini energy in there.
you basically like answered the question. But I'm gonna ask it anyway. Like you answered it without answering it. But what, as a Gemini, how do
Right,
you
what
like
I.
uniquely
Mm.
contribute? And I'll digress before you answer. I think it's very
Please.
awesome though. Like we're making history right now. Like
Yeah, dude.
what I find so beautiful about this is we have all these astrologers making videos and it's not really competitive. Like we're
Mm-mm.
all like really in this together and really it's like we're really gathering this info for people. I don't really sense, I'm sure there is some competition, but I don't really sense it. Like everyone's all open armed and like willing to share and whatnot. But yeah, as a Gemini,
Absolutely.
how do you contribute to the astrological community?
Oh man, there's so much to talk about. I love. That's a great question. Like what you were just saying was awesome. There's so much to talk about. But just quick digression. Man, I totally agree, and I think it's a beautiful thing. And honestly, I'm very humbled and very struck by truly, man, you hit the nail on the head. We are making history. It's bizarre and very almost perverse to me that astrology is seen as such a, it's just misunderstood in so many different facets of society. And chiefly among those are astronomers, people in the institutions, that are telling us about the stars and whatnot. It's incredible. It really is incredible to me. And again, a little bit kind of tragic, but you know what? Ultimately, everything happens for a reason. So I know it's meant, it's working out. But it's just amazing that this art science has been so neglected, and right now is when it's opening up, and right now is when it's really with technology and with, like you said, our community, we're growing. Thank God. But this is going right straight to the top, man. I mean, this stuff is real. And oh, okay, cool. And then the segue into your other question. I always, I know, right? I always feel as a Gemini, and especially like I really resonate with Aquarius energy too, because my son's in the house of Aquarius. And so like double dose of air, I always want to be as unbiased as possible. My ego is stroked. I'm happy. I'm a little, happy Leo kitty and stuff with the attention I'm getting and everything. But ultimately, I don't do it for attention. I don't do it for anything else. And I don't think anybody else in the, astrological community is doing it either. But for me especially, I really want to stay focused on just doing my best and speaking about stuff that, really I'm passionate about and that I've really studied and reflected upon. So as a Gemini, I just, I mean, I just try and be unbiased, and I try and offer my perspective out of the multitude and just do my best.
Great, great answer. I totally resonate with that. Like as Geminis, like the last thing we want to do is take sides or compromise on the truth. We're not
Yeah,
afraid to expose ourselves if we have to. It's like our
absolutely.
duty almost. And I just like how each zodiac sign adds their own flavor to it. So definitely appreciate your insight there. So being that you're part of this Pluto and Scorpio generation, um,
Yeah.
I really see like this stuff that we're doing is especially geared to the Pluto in Sagittarius and Capricorn generation because it's almost like a huge occultic war in that sense where all the attention is focused on all right, this is our future. How are we going to condition and program these people? Whereas people like us are trying to like, you know, open their minds and I feel like those generation of people already internally know what we're discovering and they need people like us to like guide them in the way so they're not confused when they watch all these advertisements of hypersexualized commercials and music videos. So how do you feel you being in the Pluto and Scorpio generation um, affects the later generations, and how do you feel us as a generation will evolve? Because Pluto returning to Scorpio is like Pluto starting over again. So our generation is way different than Pluto Libra, Pluto Virgo.
Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, oh man, and I absolutely, that is such a brilliant question. That's awesome. I really do think about that a lot because it's really interesting to me how damn, just looking behind us generation wise and looking forward, they're very different, and I totally agree. I totally resonate with what you said about the younger generations. They know it instinctively, but they do need us to kind of help them guide through the dark, those depths. And I think that that's honestly a role that we'll always play. I see those of our generation exploring paranormal activities, exploring biological activities. I really do think it's our generation that is going to bring, occultism wisdom to light. I mean, astrology for me is absolutely Pluto and Scorpio. It's this, psychological plumbing of what's really going on. And in all seriousness, it's just like you said, you know, um, all generations have their role, and they have their gifts. But there's something really, it's just like you said, man, where it's a brand new cycle for Pluto and Scorpio. And I find that we're almost kind of like these spiritual midwives for
Oh, that was
our
so beautiful. That was so beautiful.
thanks. For both those older and those younger. And I think we always will be. We'll be seen as a generation that, as long as, and I don't think we will, but as long as we don't be corrupted by our own power, basically, I think that's the biggest challenge. Because we have that, I mean, man, we are connected to the outer reaches of our solar system in ways that other generations, younger and older, aren't. And we always will be for our entire lives. So it's a lot of power to deal with. It's
Yeah.
beautiful because we're going to be finding out so many mysteries and understanding so much more. And I think we'll have conquered, the biological spectrum and being able to heal and all these different things. But it's overwhelming too. So I don't know, man. Let's see. I have no idea.
No, it's great because to me, like Pluto and Scorpio is the return of sexual alchemy, and so this whole revolution of sex culture, which Saturn and Scorpio is doubly important now because all of us, all of our Plutos are getting hit by Scorpio, kind of like awakening us seriously to this new sexual truth. So
Totally.
with rape culture getting more aware, where do you see like sex culture going to? Do you think it'll be more open? Do you think we'll really be able to address like rape culture, for example, to the females who really have to watch out more than ever so they don't get snatched up in a sex slave trade, which is like corruption of power right there with Pluto and Scorpio. Even though it's been
Yeah.
happening way longer before Pluto's been in Scorpio, but with Pluto and Capricorn right now and exposing all these, what do you see as far as sex culture is going?
Man, that's a great question. And again, it's funny. We're still on the same wavelength. I was totally thinking about this the other day. I see sex just opening up more and more as the natural, beautiful, sacred thing that it is, whether it's through one night stands or whatever, because everyone has different sexual needs. For me, I'm a very monogamous person, but my father, for example, is not obviously from Scorpio, but yeah, not so much. I mean, just picture, he's Aquarius, Venus in Aquarius, Mars in Scorpio. Dear
Oh
God, he's
yeah.
charming and he's sexual. Oh my God. So it's nice actually, because I do see society kind of moving more in a more open.
Free love.
That Yeah, definitely. And I don't think that everyone is into that, but I do feel like we're getting rid of these stigmas and all these weird, hang-ups about sex. I mean, ultimately, what is sex? It's two. Okay, well, that's a whole nother video. It's a huge
Yeah.
but I mean, it's a very natural process, and to kind of to try and demonize it is just so sad to me. So I feel like we're all moving forward into a more open discussion, but especially, man, it's our generation that's pioneering it. It's that generation that's posting, nude pics on Tumblr
Yeah.
and sexting and all this stuff. Because we don't give a fuck. Like, oh no, we're used to porn, man. We don't give a fuck if our stuff is out there. I mean,
Yeah.
not really. So it'll be interesting, but I definitely see us moving in a positive direction. And man, what you said about sex slave trafficking, Pluto and Capricorn is a really rough energy. I mean, it's the energy preceding the American and French revolutions and all that gross abuse of power. And that's what's going on right now, I'm finding, and I think everyone's finding. And the good news is this: I don't think we need a revolution to make the best of this energy. And I do feel like with us, with Pluto and Scorpio, that sex still going on, and all that power, all that strength that Scorpio brings, there's going to be there already has been, a lot of politicians and a lot of institutions that are really, really, really fucking up. I mean, they're really being selfish and greedy and just totally forsaking the health of the whole for their own selves and just very deluded practices. I don't think, the whole Illuminati conspiracy thing. I mean, I think that quote unquote the Illuminati exists, but they're not some intelligent force. If anything, they're very greedy, very sad souls that, just have been sucked into this. I don't know. It's a whole nother thing. But I do see it getting better. But man, Pluto and Capricorn is intense too. So it's gonna get pretty ugly at times too. But I don't know. What do you think? I feel like we're moving forward. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with about everything you said, especially when you were talking about it may not be a revolution. Um, Speaking on that sextile between Saturn and Scorpio and Capricorn and Pluto, they're deviously working together to like incrementally and slowly bring change. So before these people know it, oh, more WikiLeaks are being exposed, more politicians are being exposed, more people are waking up. Like, why are we voting these idiots in office? And that's not to say everybody in the government is an idiot, because there are people in the government right now who are working on the inside out, and for those people who are doing so, I'm really grateful. It's a very long process. Civil rights, women's suffrage, they didn't see their freedom to like 10 plus years. So, we have to get off the mind state of thinking all this will happen overnight. And, thankfully with Uranus, there will be unpredictability. But I really like how you said it doesn't necessarily have to be a revolution, because this is just a new energy that's going to sweep, and things built not on integrity will just get completely ruined and goodbye, down to the wayside.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're just at the right place at the right time. So, yeah.
Always, always. Yeah, man. Totally.
So, this is where I put you on the hot seat real quick.
Okay.
What are your three favorite zodiac signs and your three least favorite?
Could we do like specific energies?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, cool. So I would say this is a great question. Dude, this is fucking awesome. Thank you for doing this. Seriously, like this is truly awesome. And your other two videos too. This is excellent. I'm so glad you're doing this. This is
Yeah,
really cool.
that's what I do it for.
I would say in no particular order, one of my favorite energies is definitely Sun in Aries. I'm just meant to end up with an Aries woman. I just know. That's one of the beauties of astrology and energies is you can just know what's right for you and what's not. And
So true.
yeah, man. I mean, it's so funny how the universe is just like, nope, you need a warrior woman. I'm like, yes, I do. So that's definitely one of my favorite. And some of my best friends too. Uh, are Aries guys, girls, whatever. So I just love that energy. Another energy. Okay, so let's go back and forth. A really challenging energy. Hmm, um, you know, first thing that comes to mind is one of the typical ones. Is Venus and Scorpio. And I have to say, one of my best friends, one of my absolute best friends, has this energy. And I see him every day, and we have wonderful times. But that energy has put me through a lot of hell too,
The
for
energy is
sure.
putting me through hell right now.
Oh, I believe it, man. With Venus and Taurus too, it's
Yeah.
that's a tough relationship.
Because
Yeah.
I attract a lot of Venus and Scorpios, and because their Venus is usually on my Pluto opposing my Venus, I kind of tap
Oh,
into whatever deep feelings they have, but they won't expose it. And so
right?
it just leaves me in limbo, and it's like, ah,
Exactly. And
ah.
and they mean well. I mean, usually, unless they're really like stuck in their pain and hurt and stuff, they mean well. They're just so. I found that Venus and Scorpio is kind of heartbreaking. I feel for them. They've been through so much shit with other people, and I mean, like truly emotionally torturous situations.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, that doesn't give you the right to go torture other people. So
And
I think
manipulate, and
yeah,
oh God. Oh God.
exactly.
It
To
is
have
very
all the
challenging.
power. I feel for you, dude. I totally understand. That's rough, and the opposite Venus and everything. Oh
Because like when you let go, it's weird. I don't want to sound crazy saying this, but I feel like when you try and let go of that energy, they know how
man,
to indirectly and psychologically draw you back in so that you stay
absolutely.
hooked. It's like vampirics, true to Scorpio nature, and it's been
Yeah,
the hardest thing ever to let go. But well, maybe it's a lesson that I signed up to learn. It definitely expanded me in some ways, but I agree. That's very challenging energy. Very
mm,
challenging.
yeah. And you know what? The beautiful thing is this: is with any energy, there's always that positive. And my buddy now, he's one of the most emotionally mature people I know. It took him a
It's probably because
long
Saturn's over his
time.
Venus.
What?
It's probably because Saturn's transiting his Venus right now.
Dude, for real, it's totally, absolutely hit the nail on the head, man. Absolutely. And I've seen it in his life. Scorpios in general, and especially those with Venus, man. This Saturn transit's been rough, but it's been good too, because it's taught them a lot.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So let's see, another energy I love. I love Mercury and Sag. I mean, you know what it's like to have Mercury and Gemini energy. I know, you're Mercury Taurus, but right on the cusp,
Yeah.
so it's
Yeah. Yeah.
there, of
Yeah.
course. Exactly. And
Yeah.
oh my God, I fucking love that energy, dude.
Mercury and
It's so
Sag.
yeah.
Yeah. That's fun energy. That's fun energy.
It's so amazing that I mean the universe, no matter what your energy is, it has that partner sign out there. And
Oh
when a
yeah.
Mercury and Gem and Mercury and Sag comes together, I just lose all cares in the world in the most beautiful way. I know everything's gonna be all right, and they're just so interesting and fun,
It's a
and
beautiful compliment.
yeah, it really
Very
is.
beautiful compliment.
It
Um,
really is. It's kind of funny sometimes because they can be, it can really believe and think some weird things. I see where that's where we come in with the kind of logical, like, all right now, like, all
it's like, well, let's
right.
make sure it's true because Mercury and
Yeah.
Sag will just enthusiastically spout out on so much nonsense that it's just,
Yeah.
dude, like we're in
Exactly.
reality. Get out of this Pisces realm. Come back to the Virgo.
Dude, absolutely. Oh my God.
It's like, do you listen to yourself talk, or are you doing this on purpose because you just love to hear your crazy, crazy ideas? And Mercury and Gemini will do the same thing, but it's like opposite. It's different.
Totally. We can, with Gemini, man, we can think and believe some really weird, some very wrong things for sure. But at the end of the day, our logic does kind of help us sift through a lot of.
Yeah.
bullshit. So
And to give credit to Mercury and Sag, they pull us out of that Machiavellian behavior.
they do.
Yeah.
They're so honest. So I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
shit, it's incredible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
So let's see. Another challenging energy. Another challenging energy. Hmm. Man, I know this is so stereotypical astrologically, but I gotta say Venus and Virgo. That I know, right? I mean, my sister's Venus and Virgo. My son, or
Oh god.
there's all sorts of people in my life that I'm just like, okay, I'm done with you trying to like criticize me to death. God, yeah,
Honestly, that energy is challenging. The only reason why it works perfectly for me is
Venus and
because,
Taurus.
yeah, and I have Capricorn energy, so it makes a grand Earth trine, and it's in my fifth house. So I always attract like
God
positive.
damn.
Yeah, I get the positive of that all the time. Like anything they criticize is like I see from a practical standpoint. It's like, oh, okay, I could change this, I could do that, and Virgo energy is just kind of fun to me. That
Special.
criticism I kind of just see as like poking jabs, and then we just have fun making fun of people together. But yeah, other than that, if I didn't have that placement, it could be so annoying because they could just be so picky and just like
Mhm.
not be content with blessings right in front of their face because of this one smudge. But
Totally. And
yeah,
I man, it's really cool too. Your Venus is in the house of Pisces, so that's perfect. You got that partner placement. Um, and I totally feel you on that. And usually I gotta say, usually I really do love those people because I mean, with Gemini and especially Mercury and Gemini, I see the ridiculousness of their obsession with the smudge. I'm just like, oh please. Sometimes, man, it's gotten easier with time, but Venus and Leo, imagine that kind of ego around that kind of criticism, and it's been not so pretty.
and then your Mercury squares their Venus too, so it's like
Yeah, exactly. So.
yeah.
But I'll have to say some of my best friends have this energy too. So it all works out. There's no such thing as bad energy, I find. Just challenges. And hell, there's challenges with Sun and Aries too, those selfish motherfuckers,
Right. I have a first house son, so I'm just as selfish. But yeah, I
Oh, dude,
definitely know what
on
you
my
mean.
Leo, I'm king selfish. That's probably why,
Oh god, that's funny.
So let's see, where are we at? Okay, so one more challenging, one more beautiful energy. Oh man, this is all right. This is kind of gonna be throwing for a loop. I would have to say one of my one of my favorite energies, and also one of my most challenging energies in my life, is Moon in Cancer. For all of the beautiful imagination, yada yada, nurturing stuff, yeah, that's all true. But at the same time, Moon in Cancer is crazy, dude. Like fucking, my mom, my stepdad, one of my bandmates, I have Moon in Cancer, and from personal experience, Moon in Cancer is a beautiful, nurturing energy, and it's also one of the most deranged, irrational energies there are. And that's for Moon and Cap, dude. That's the beautiful. Another one of my bandmates has Moon and Cap, and she stabilizes me. She really does, because I can be so damn moody. I do my best, but oh my god.
It must be tough as a Gemini too to have to go through those mood swings and not know why you're even doing that. It's like wow.
Yeah. Rising Leo right in the cusp of Cancer too, so I have like rising impact of the moon too. Oh
Yeah,
God, it's taken me a long time. Yeah, man.
that's interesting. I'm very curious about Moon and Cancers because I only know a few, but when I meet them, there's something about them that's distinct. I guess it's because of the opposite moon that kind of like encourages me to express more than just stay like rock hard because my moon's on my Saturn, right? So it's super constipated and it's like feelings.
Yeah,
Bad.
totally, man. Especially like, I mean, in Cap too. Yeah, it's awesome. It's cool. You're in touch with your emotions, very effusive. It's a good thing. Definitely. It's surprising with that energy, but yeah, man, you've mastered it.
I think because the Jupiter in Cancer just um,
Nice.
kind of like balances it out, I guess.
Totally.
Amplifies when it's weird because I will get emotional, but the Capricorn helps me control it in public, so I don't like express it. But yeah, I still go through the roller coasters. I wish I wouldn't have. I sometimes wish I could be like emotionless, but it is what it is.
It'd be easier that way, wouldn't it?
Oh
But
yeah,
it wouldn't be worth it, I don't think.
true. I agree. So the challenging one was Moon and Cancer, and the last positive one was Moon and Cap.
Actually, the last positive one was Moon and Cancer, but yeah,
Oh,
man,
okay,
Moon and
gotcha.
Cap's beautiful too. I really do. I mean, being Moon and Cancer, I absolutely love Moon and Cap. And I feel like it's just like you said, that beautiful relationship between Cancer and Cap. There's Cancer gets Cap to open up a little bit more, and Cap gets Cancer to kind of keep it in a little bit more, which is, trust me, man, Moon and Cancer needs to learn that lesson for sure.
Yeah. And then with Jupiter transiting your moons too, that should be pretty cool. That should be really cool. So, before we go back to a few more questions, I want to play one more game. We could
Sure.
we could take turns asking each other certain questions about zodiac signs. I'll start first.
Okay.
Will, who do you think is more likely to get caught cheating, an Aries or a Sagittarius?
Oh, good question.
If they'd even care in the first place that they got caught, but who do you think would be
Yeah,
more likely?
exactly. Um, oh man, that's a good question. I think it comes down to Mercury's really. Because if that Sag is Mercury and Sag, that Sag is going to get caught easy.
Yeah,
I mean, they may be really fast and whatnot, but you can't escape the truth. But if that Sag is Mercury and Scorpio, dear God, they might never be caught. It may take decades. Um,
that's
Ooh,
true.
same with the Aries. If the Aries is Mercury and Pisces, caught. Like they'll probably be caught before it even happens.
Really, if it was in Pisces, what about Mercury and Pisces would get them
My dad's got Mercury and Pisces, and I absolutely love that
caught?
energy. I know, right? Oh yeah, actually, perfect example, dude. And he's Aquarius too. Like he thinks, the air mind and everything, but that Mercury and Pisces, and thank God, because he's from England, and he's lived in the States for decades, so he has the whole like, hello, I'm from Birmingham thing going on. Oh my God! And thank God that Mercury and Pisces is there, because otherwise he would never get caught, and he needs to get caught, because his soul needs to learn to stop cheating, for
True,
God's
true,
sakes.
true.
But
Is
yeah,
your
there's
video
this.
on right now on your end?
Oh, is it? Can you see me?
Yeah, I just see your icon, like your face.
That's strange. How is it working now?
Oh, yep, back on.
Okay,
Perfect.
cool. There's a little weird battery thing here. Let me charge my phone. Can you still see me?
Yep, still see it.
Okay, cool. That's weird. I froze it on my end, but it's all good. All right, cool,
Yeah,
cool.
it's perfect now.
Um, Sweet.
So it depends on the
Yeah.
Mercury you're saying.
I would say, I have to say though, even though Sag and Aries are both fire, they're both into integrity and honesty and whatnot. Sag can bend the rule. Well, I don't know. Aries selfishness, though. I don't know. I get this vibe that Aries would just be too. That would be too messy for Aries. I feel like Aries would cut ties first, and well, they could cheat, but
No, I
so I guess this.
agree. I feel
Yeah,
like they
you know what
would
I mean?
cut ties. It'd be like,
Yeah.
hey, I don't want to be with you anymore. Goodbye. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. And like part of it's, like I want to make sure they know that's the truth and the honesty, all that shit. But also part of it's just like I don't want to deal with you anymore, you know?
And I feel like
That's
Sagittarius would like somehow justify cheating on you
absolutely.
and get
Yeah.
away with it and be
Fuck
like,
yeah. You haven't taken me dancing. Are you serious?
like,
Yeah, man.
is your mind working right? Like what?
Yeah. Exactly. Dude, that's why I can't end up with a Sag, honestly. I mean, for all my Gemini, I need that energy somewhere, but I figured it out. I gotta have a Moon and Sag woman. It's just what I need, you know? Because Sun and Sag women are just too much for me. My Moon in Cancer is like, but how do I trust you? You
Straight
know?
up, I attract a lot of Sun and Sagittarius too, and my eighth house cusp is in Sagittarius. So then the whole issue of
Ooh.
jealousy and trust is even worse. And it's like, all right, Even if they have like say a Venus in Scorpio, it's like, can I really trust you to overcome temptation? Because you're going to get super tempted. Those are the kind of people that have like crazy suitors after them, and it's like, who knows when you're gonna slip up? Like,
Yeah, dude, especially with Venus and Scorpio. I mean, that's one of the most loyal signs there are, but that is also one of the biggest cheating signs I find. There's just so much weird emotions
and they
involved
can
with
get away with it
sex.
too. So it's
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah, I mean, karma, that's a beautiful thing about karma. And man, I mean, our years of 9091, Saturn in Cap, Saturn in Aquarius, I love that energy because we really do, I feel, we're more in touch with karma and fate, and we can see consequences of our actions a lot
yeah,
clearer, I think, than other people. And
absolutely. I agree 100%. Yeah.
mm, yeah.
So your turn.
Oh, okay, cool. Let me think. Oh man, which one? Okay. So in this next huge cosmological cycle, the Age of Aquarius, what are the three signs? And yeah, okay, what's the word I'm looking for? PC. Okay, yes, every sign has its role, of course, of course, of course. But what three energies do you feel like are really going to kind of step up to the forefront of the Aquarian frontiers, you know?
um, Phenomenal question. I like to see this new age. If you did a natal chart for the new age, I would see it as a Cancer Sun conjunct Mercury in Cancer with a Gemini rising and a midheaven in Aquarius. So I honestly want to say, just because we're in the age of Aquarius, the three signs that are, it's this heavenly grand air trine, Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius are the signs. But I do want to bring in Cancer. I feel like if there was a fourth sign, or it may even supersede Libra, because this is, even though it's a communicative age, I feel like that whole Cancer concept of internal emotions and feelings, being that we're going to be more telepathic and stuff, is way more you know important and prevalent, and will kind of guide and help us, you know, and affect the way we do communicate and do connect with people. So I feel like Cancer is definitely one of the most important signs, as well as Gemini, this communication. We can't have this age of Aquarius if people don't open up and talk. And then, of course, Aquarius, because it's the age. And then Libra, because of the partnerships that we need to make. North Node in sign too. So I know you said three, but those are the four that I feel like are gonna
It's
be.
good. We're Geminis. We don't really follow rules.
Oh God.
Dude, that's fascinating. I really like that. And I connect with that. I really resonate with that. I totally. And not just because my own cancer and stuff, but I definitely have felt that. And I feel like kind of to go back to your question from before, I feel like in addition to that, Geminian air, unbiased, search for truth, eternal search for truth, I feel like my Cancer and my Leo both, and especially my Cancer, that's something that I do my best. It just happens naturally that to put into my videos is to be that emotionally sensitive. Like I never want to do a video and alienate people, you know? I mean, I want to always stick with the truth, but I really want to connect with people. I want to help them. I don't want to tell them, Venus and Virgo, oh, you have this energy, you're fucked, Like I never want to do that because first of all, I don't believe that's true. Second of all, like that's gonna harm people. That's not gonna hurt or help people, And so I totally agree, and especially since I mean we've seen the ugly side of the Age of Aquarius so far in this last 200 years or so of so much violence, of so much just senseless killing, of senseless treatment of fellow human beings, and just all these a lot of heartless, very detached
Merciless
actions
detachment.
going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And with Cancer, I do find, or any of the water signs, but especially that mothering, nurturing influence, I agree. It's important. Ironically, in some ways, I feel like it's more important now than it was during the age of Pisces.
Absolutely. I
Interesting.
totally agree with that. I 100% agree with that. And you'll see, like, cancers, they're just so content with working behind the scenes. Like, the things they do to attune our emotional makeup never fails to amaze me. And then at the same time, they can seem like they have nothing to do with it at all. Kind of like Libra, but not so much socially. So, other than that, who do you think lies better? Not who can get away with the lie, but who do you think is a better liar? Scorpio
Gemini.
or Gemini?
Oh, it's such a good question. Okay, okay. Oh,
Well, you already answered. Yes, I have to agree.
I think, all right, oh man, speaking from personal experience living with, one of my best friends who's Scorpio, Venus Scorpio and all that. Um, man, if you would have said any other sign besides Scorpio, I would have said Gemini right off the bat. But I have to say, I think Gemini still because of this, and especially this last 8 months, I've observed this with me and my buddy. Scorpio, they're said to be this dark, and they're very mysterious, very dark. They're very secretive and everything. But Geminis can be really, really unpredictable to the point where even Scorpio can't understand them. To the point where even rebellious Aquarius is like, what the, you know what I mean? And so I feel like Gemini through like flurry of activity, basically. Well, I have to say real quick, I just got a major deja vu too from like 3 years ago. That's very strange. It's bizarre, but cool. This is awesome. Everything that's happening right now, it's awesome. Very cool.
Nice. I love that feeling.
But yeah, man, it's really cool. So Scorpio, they're good, man, but Gemini is just so damn observant and flexible and adaptable that nobody can really pin us down. Even when Scorpio thinks they have us, they don't really have us, you know?
Plus, we're Scorpio's eighth house too, so we kind of like well, I can't disclose what that truly means, but
We are the Scorpios to the Scorpios. And
yes,
that scares the shit out of them.
Oh my gosh, they get so intimidated. It's
Oh
so
man!
amazing.
Oh my god! We're
It's
having
so
much
amazing. Yeah, we are. I love this. This is my favorite episode so far, right?
fun.
But they say
Oh my
3 times the charm, so.
god. Yeah, man. That's a good question. That was a damn good question.
Thank
That
you.
was fantastic. Mm.
I think Scorpio can get away with lies better than Gemini, but Gemini will lie and not even realize they're lying. They'll think they're telling the truth.
Dude, seriously, and that's so fascinating. Like being a Gemini, it's so cool that you found that too, because holy shit, it's pretty amazing what, we're the signs of truth and expression and all that, but we really have to stay committed to our truth because it's just like you say, we can not even realize we're lying because we convince ourselves so well,
Yeah,
and that can lead some weird dark paths for sure.
yeah,
Yeah. But we know, I mean, we figure it out eventually. That's a cool thing.
yeah, that's true. So
Yeah.
I think we got 2 more questions from each of us.
Okay, cool. All right, let me think. Um,
Actually, I have 1 more and you have 2 more.
okay. Um, oh, interesting. Um, hmm. Okay. So, out of all the different countries in the world and all the different energies, that are at play, like Cancer, July 4th, and all that being Cancer, or I'm sorry, the U.S. being July 4th and Cancer and whatnot, and all this other stuff. What do you? Oh man, there's so much to talk about this. I guess, what do you see as the most prevalent energy out there as per nations, as per countries? Or maybe like the
Ooh,
top two or three.
that is a very good question. Um, I'm so tempted to say America because, as it is a cancer nation caught up in its grand cross, but honestly,
Mhm.
um, the Middle East and even Africa too, but not necessarily all of Africa. I would say like the northern part, all these Islamic nations. Um, they give me a very. I'm not sure if this is truly their energy, but the energy that I get from them is like Aries and Scorpio combined. So I feel like they're set to go through a major, major, major like not only re-evolution, but with this emergent, culture that's growing up, and you know, they have their set of beliefs that are outdated, just like we have our set of beliefs here. I feel like they're gonna go through this shift way more radically and completely take the whole world by surprise. Like there's just something about that whole area that we is gonna happen that we just don't expect. Whether that's more revolution or whether that's like just a complete turnaround of control and power where the younger generation like completely takes over everything. And I don't want to say they get Americanized, but they run with it and create their own, like bridging the old traditions of their ancestors and this new life that they're living. So I would say definitely that the whole Middle Eastern area, like Yemen, Egypt, but also like even to Saudi Arabia and that whole even I don't want to say all of Asia, but like just that concentration there.
Dude, I totally agree. I completely agree. And I find it fascinating that I think it was 2012, 2011, whenever the Arab Spring was going on, all those countries that were established in that all were Aquarius, and I was fascinated by that. I was like, first of all, the revolution, so that makes sense, Aquarian energy.
Interesting.
But what does that mean for us as the world? And I totally agree with you. And I want to learn Arabic one day because well, because I'm a Gemini, but also because I feel like exactly what you said. I know, right? Dude, I know so many languages. It's just like it's so funny. People are like, "How do you learn those languages?" I'm like, "Dude, don't be amazed. I'm a Gemini. Like, this is
Yeah.
what I'm meant to be doing right now.
I
It's
picked up Spanish
okay."
so quick. I still need to learn it, but I still want to learn French and Italian and Chinese or Mandarin.
Dude, check out me too. Absolutely. I am actually about to graduate in French and Spanish. I've studied Italian, I've studied German. I'm now learning Japanese and Chinese on my phone. Like,
Awesome.
it's awesome in this age. Cause have you ever heard of Duolingo.com?
No.
It's beautiful, dude. It's a free, extensive, comprehensive language
No
system.
way.
Yeah, man, and it teaches Spanish, French, Italian, Portuguese, and German.
Thank you so
And
much. I'm about to go on that like after this call.
dude, yeah, dude, it's incredible. I use it all the time. I forgot I'm learning Portuguese through there too. It's incredible. But
Duolingo.com.
Duolingo.com.
Like
It's
DUO.
exactly.
Nice. Awesome.
Awesome. So yeah, I'm really excited. That's really cool that you feel that too, because I've never talked to with anyone about this. I really feel that too about the north of Africa, and I'm really excited because I totally agree. I don't know what's gonna happen. I know it can get kind of ugly in the meantime, but I really do think that it's moving forward rather than backwards. And I do think that when they finally get over those obstacles, like you said, when the youth really take control in their nations, when those Pluto and Scorpios basically get rise to power and are able to clean things up. And hell, I mean, they're cleaning things up right now, so it's already going. But I think that that part of the world is going to be completely different in maybe even a decade and a half, maybe 2 decades, than it is right now. And Africa too, I totally feel you. I mean, the Aquarian age isn't just limited to here or there. That's the beautiful thing is our entire rock, our entire planet is about due for a major unification of peoples and definitely breaking down barriers that were stopping us from connecting before. Be interesting.
Definitely beautiful. I definitely love the question too. So I guess to wrap up, we'll ask our last questions. Kind of sucks. This is so much fun. I wish we could do this forever.
Dude, whenever you want, just let me know. I'd love to do these interviews. This is awesome.
Yeah, I'll definitely have you back on for a future episode. But
Fantastic. Thank you.
what is the um? Let's see. Who this who do you think other than Taurus is going to be impacted by this new moon eclipse the most? I'm sure it's
Mm.
very personal depending on your chart, but what other sign do you think will really get impacted?
Man, that's awesome. I didn't know the eclipse is occurring during the new moon.
Yeah, I actually didn't think so too. I thought it was just going to be an Aries and Libra thing, but apparently this new moon is part of the eclipse too.
Oh, fantastic. That's awesome. Um, obviously I'm not too knowledgeable about this, but at the same time, so it's a solar eclipse, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna check that again because it just doesn't make sense to me how it could be a new moon in Taurus and an eclipse. But let's just say the new moon in Taurus. Who do you think will be like affected
Actually, hold
most?
on. I have my calendar right here. Let me check it real quick and then I'll.
Boshizo.
Oh no, yeah, you're totally right, dude. It's a solar eclipse on the new moon in Taurus. Absolutely.
Interesting.
Wow, cool. I didn't even know about that. I wonder.
Yeah.
So we just came from a lunar eclipse in Libra. We're now moving to the solar eclipse in the new moon of Taurus. Oh, how fascinating. I think that blood moon in Libra, that full moon and all that, was so integral for the Grand Cross, and I feel like it helped us move forward. It was that next big step, and maybe it was kind of like a step into a hole that we didn't know where we were going to, so we're kind of like Alice in Wonderland floating. But I definitely feel like this next eclipse and the two eclipses in the 2 months after that are just going to be continuing this cycle, continuing these changes. This Grand Cross, and especially right now when it's like directly square each other, I feel like the world is put up with a lot of shit with Pluto and Capricorn, and it's done with it. I mean, however you want to verbalize the corruption, whether the 1% and the 99%, the Illuminati or whatever. I mean, at the end of the day, there is very vast, very messed up uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Disparities?
Disparity.
Thank you. Disparities. I'm turning Greek here. There's huge disparities between different classes and different nations and different. I mean, just go down the line. There's a lot of stuff that we need to change to make the world a better place, to make it more fair, more. I just saw a thing the other day how the U.S. isn't said to be a democracy; it's said to be an oligarchy because of basically ruling classes and powers. And I think that we're meant to change that. And I think that with this new moon in Taurus, especially, this is going to help us. And especially with this Sun and Mercury in Taurus, it's going to help us be a lot more grounded, a lot more, okay, like what do we have here? What can we do with this? What's the next step? And I think that it's really interesting that it's happening right with the new moon because that means this whole next cycle is going to be dominated by these changes, even more so. So I don't know, man. I don't know what it's going to be like, but I do think that it's going to help us move forward in very tangible ways, and hopefully it'll help us clean up some of these messes in even better ways than before. Hope so.
Yeah, I love how I'll be trining Pluto, and it's gonna be on my Venus. Oh my god.
That's good. That's good. No, yeah, that was really good. I think you'll experience a lot of beautiful growth in your love relationships and just relationships in general. And I think
I hope
I,
so,
I,
because
that'd be good.
Pluto is on my natal Neptune right now, and it trines directly in my Venus and Taurus. Eighth house, 12th
Mm.
house, so I have no clue what the hell is going on the surface. It's just like Alice in Wonderland, like you said, to a T. It's just like, cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo.
Dude, totally. I'm right there with you. Is it conjunct your Uranus too?
My Uranus is 8 degrees, so no, it's actually going to trine my Uranus in the eighth because the new moon is 8 degrees.
Nice.
So yeah, maybe something unexpected. I might get married in Vegas. You never know.
I recommend it. I'm from Vegas. It's a good idea. Yeah, honestly, it's really interesting, man. Again, everyone has different needs. Some people are meant to, have a soulmate who's one monogamous partner. Other people are meant to have soulmates that are people that flit in and out of their lives. But I definitely do find that those of our generation, I mean, Pluto and Scorpio, even down to 9091, um, we're there's a lot of my friends who I can tell they're with who they're meant to be with, you know? It's interesting how partnership is such a, I guess that's the Scorpio part of it. It's such an integral part for our generation because it does seem like people are coming together that are just absolutely, soulmates, partners for each other.
And
I
just
know that's
watching
what
them
I'm looking
interact
for.
is
I hope
so
so.
beautiful. Yeah, you're
Right.
absolutely right. Like I see some couples that just like completely restore my faith in the possibility of being with someone like that. Like it
Yeah.
just makes sense. Like, oh, okay, like you guys get what it's all about. Thank you. It's beautiful.
Beautifully put. That is absolutely, yeah. Hmm. Yeah. So, hey, man, this is good for you. This is, that next step to finding that. That's cool.
We'll see.
Mm.
We'll see.
Yeah. It's not all important. That's the thing I've learned. I mean, I got Saturn in the seventh. I was meant to wait and be super serious about relationships and stuff. And
Yeah.
it's made me realize at this point in my life, by this point in my life, that, we don't need other people to be whole, but there is a beautiful magic that occurs when you're with somebody that, you just the chemistry is right.
Hmm.
Mm.
Or necessarily, maybe it's not that you're expecting someone to complete you, but you just sense that there's a certain energy combination that you are a half of in your wholeness, and you're waiting for that other half to complete that expanded energy so you can both do what you feel in your heart you were both meant to do.
Truth. Absolute truth. Hashtag truth. Yeah.
All right.
Mm. So do I have one last question?
One more.
All right, cool. Let me think. Hmm. 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 Okay. So this is kind of going into a more general question. What advice would you give to aspiring astrologers?
Oh my God, I was actually going to ask you that. I forgot to.
Nice.
So I guess this was meant to be answered. Thank you for bringing it up. If you're an aspiring astrologer, the only advice I have for you is do not be afraid to open your mouth and speak about what you know. Because if one thing has taught me about what I'm doing right now, you never, 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 ever know the impact you will have on someone. And, I believe we're vessels for our higher selves and spirits, so they could be using you to speak to that one person who needs to hear what you say. And make sure you never feel like you know too much. Study, study, read as much charts as you can, and you'll open up to the beautiful world of astrology and astral dancing of the planets that'll just show you there's way more to life than this 3D reality. So if you're an aspiring astrologer, never give up on what you do, and I'd like to congratulate you for walking this path and just enjoy it. Enjoy the journey.
Awesome. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Hmm. Yeah,
So,
man.
that's it for our third episode of Peace Talks. This is an amazing, amazing, amazing episode. I'm really looking forward to doing these, and turns out this Grand Cross Week is great because we're gonna have episode 4 on Friday, and thank God, special guest host for that is actually the Leo King, so that should be interesting. Leo and
Cool. Leo
Geminian
King. That's
dynamics. Yes, yes,
very
yes.
cool.
That should be an
Mm.
interesting episode. So, once again, thank you, Will, for joining me in this
Thanks
episode.
for having.
Definitely
Thanks,
will
man.
have you back on again. This is very fun.
I
Um,
love.
and yeah, peace.
Peace, brother. See you.